everybody, and welcome back to Just Paint It. As you can see here, I have the next kit. It's the garage kit. I already reviewed this kit before, and this kit is available from Gilman's Garage. It was sculpted by Jeff Yagher, and I did a review. And if you guys want to go look at that, I'll link it down below. And I had about 3 or 4 kits primed and ready to go, and I couldn't decide which one to go with. So I finally decided with this one, and the reason why is because if I get it done on time, I want to bring this to Chiller Theater with my McCready that I did, and put them together maybe in the show or something like that if I can finish this one on time. And I'm also going to go a little bit ballsy with this one because there's a little something that I want to add to this. I'm not sure how it's going to come out. I did it once before and it came out really good, but I don't know about this time, because I haven't done it in a long time. But I'm going to try it again, and I'm going to see how it comes out. And if it comes out good, great. If it doesn't, you can always just put primer again and just start all over again. No big deal. I'm not gonna worry about it. So, but this is one of the kits that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I think I need to get started with it. I'm also trying out a new lens for the camera. Hopefully, it'll bring a better quality of picture for you guys. The only thing is I've been messing around. I don't have autofocus set up on it because it'll shut my camera off for some reason, and I'm still playing around with that. So just bear with me. I'll try to focus as best as I can because you lose focus pretty quick on it. And most of the work that I'm going to be doing is going to be here, so I'm going to focus more on this area right here, like so. And this way you guys get a better picture of what's going on. Alright, I gotta close my door because I got a little bit of echo going. The other thing is, once I get this completed, then I'll do the final piece that I want to do. So this way, if I do mess up, you guys can still use this as a reference if you want. Now, how long is this video going to be? I haven't determined that yet, because the last video that I did with the Huntress, that was like a 13-hour long series. It took a long time, but there was a lot of mistakes, and I broke a piece and I had to fix it, so that was in there. The mistakes that I did, those are in there. I did not, I went and showed how I fixed them, things were repaired, and it was more pieces than what I have now. Those were the Huntress and the two saber-toothed and the base, and there was a lot of putty work involved in it. And I did everything, the process from the start to finish. So everything is there. If you guys want to go, and there's 5 episodes. If you guys want to go in each episode and check out to see what's what and what you can learn from it. I think the kit came out really good, really nice. I'm really proud of it. There was some final touch-ups that I had to do after the video, but I just didn't want to make that video any longer. It was just way too long. So I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter, maybe fast forward through some of the things that I already been doing on the other videos. But if I happen to do that and I come through to something new that I haven't shown in the videos before, I will stop and we'll go through normal speed and go through everything like I want to do it. Or if I want to explain something, I'll but if there's any questions that you guys ever have on any of my videos or anything that I put out there, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Alright, so let me get some stuff ready. I'm going to use the regular stuff that I usually use. I'm going to start off with a base coat with the tan flesh from Pro Acro, and then I'm going to do the staining with the different colors to get different to get variations on the skin tones, and then the flicking of the speckles on the face, to get different colors of speckles in the face and stuff like that. And then I'm going to do another coat probably of this, and then shadow flesh from the bottom to give it a little bit of shadow. We're going to use the pastel to shadow on, with the red oxide like I usually do, and go in there. And then, we're going to start layering up the skin. He's going to need to be a little bit more lighter skin, a little more translucent, because he's a Caucasian, stuck in the in the Arctic, no sun for I don't know how many months and stuff. It's cold, so you want to try to get that effect. You don't want to give him too much of a tan, so you want to go maybe with the lighter skin, maybe some more of the translucent kind of effect on it, a little bit more, because he's so, he's redhead, he's very pale. So there's going to be some stuff that we need to do a little bit, maybe a little bit different than that, than what I usually do, how I approach the skin tones. But we'll see as we go along. I picked up some new paint for the jacket, and I've got other kits that I need the same paint colors to do. And for the jacket, I picked up the World War II U.S. Army colors, because I didn't have like any olive greens or any color like that. I have a couple from a different brand, but I didn't have a good for like New Shadows and stuff, like a good mix of colors. You can mix your own, I'm not a good mixer of paint. I usually, it takes me way too long to figure, so I just buy the box of colors that I need, and that's it. But it comes with a good different colors in there that I think I want to pick up the color on the jacket. Alright, the jacket had like a military green to it, so I want to go with that color. And then I can always use this paint for other stuff. I got a couple other kits that I'm doing that I'm definitely going to need these colors, so that's why I picked it up, and it wasn't a big deal going out there and buying it. Alright, I bought this from Last Cav. They got some good prices on paints if you guys want, and if you remember, I'll put the link down, but it's called Last Cav. They're online, check them out. They got good prices on paint. I picked this up for a good deal. Alright, so yeah, so like I said, I'm going to do kind of like the usual what I do with the paints, and start as far as the flesh tones go, and then we'll move on to the clothing, and then obviously we have the base, and we have, don't forget that we have the two hands, alright, that are pretty, they're going to be pretty gory looking. Alright, so we're going to have to get the effect on that. So this is probably going to do like I'm going to show you like step by step how to do that, hopefully. And then I don't think I showed this in the last episode when I did the review. I don't think I showed this, but I think this is limited to the first few buyers, I guess. I think it was a first 40 or 50 buyers on this kit was going to get this, which is the tray with a little specimen in there, and the looks like a hobby knife, right? Pretty cool. Alright, so Paul Gill posted online on his website a couple pictures that some of these guys from Japan, they did a work on this, and it was just amazing. So if you guys get a chance, go to Paul Gill's Gilman's Garage website. I'm obviously going to put a link down below, and check out the work that those guys did, because I mean, amazing. And there's the other guys in there that also did a fantastic paint jobs in it. Posted pictures there too, or the Yagher Army. So please check it out when you get a chance. Alright, so let's get started with this baby. Let's start slapping some paint on them. I'm going to start with the flesh tone. I'm going to do the usual, put one layer, go out there in my outside and seal it, and then come back in, and then keep on doing all that stuff. So just in case if I fast forward this stuff, and I'm not, and if you guys know exactly what I'm doing at each step. Every time I put a layer down, I go outside and I seal it. Alright, and that's how it's going to be. Okay? So what I also want to try to do is trying to do a couple different things with the video as it goes along. I'm going to try to put some chapters in there as far as exactly what I'm doing. So if you guys want to reference back, you can reference those chapters. I'm going to try to do that, but if it doesn't work, I apologize. I keep on trying to learn new things and to try to put new things out there, so this way make things a little bit easier for you guys to follow along. Alright, so stay tuned. Let's get started. I'm using a Sotar 2020. I'm going to put a couple drops of air floor improver in there. thinner. Always make sure you get the ears. So always forget, you know, get the back of the ears too. It's okay to go over the beard because once you start doing the beard, wow, this is real echoey. Try to cut that. Once you start going over the beard, just don't remember the flesh is going to show up at the edges of the beard, like right below it. Okay, so it's okay if you overspray. Don't worry about it because you want some of that flesh to show up. You know, like behind the ears and stuff. You know, his hair color is going to be like a reddish, blondish, brownish tone. I mean, I was depending on which way you look at the movie and the character. It's okay if you put a little bit of flesh tone in there because you're going to change the color. You're going to darken it up with reds and stuff like that. So just make sure. Sorry about that. His hair is very thin, so don't forget that, you know, if you overspray the hair, it's okay. Because you want to make sure that, you know, you're showing some skin from this side towards the head, so, you know, that's okay. Then his hair gets thicker in the back, but, you know, right here is going to be really thin, so you can still go in there and paint some very fine hairlines going inside towards the head without going over the sculpted piece. So this way you give that effect that, you know, his hair is thinning out on the top. This is going to be the lightest part of his head because it's going to be exposed to light, obviously. ton of noise going on here. That looks good. All right. And put color on the hands. Just putting some tone in there, that's all. I'm not going crazy. Just a little bit of tone because that whole hand is gonna change all different colors. Alright, so let me clean up and then I'm gonna seal everything. UV clear resistant. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So I'm gonna start doing the sponging. Agua. Okay, so we're gonna just go all over and then sponge it out. Okay. Don't go in the mouth. All right. Alright, so that's it for that, and let's go and seal this. Alright, next up is the blue. It's shade drinking off Nightshade. Tricking off. Hasselhoff. Tricking off. So, we'll put a little bit in there. Put the water. Sponge ready. Now let's do the blue. Is it dry? Yeah, it's dry. Just gotta make sure. Don't go in the mouth. Don't go in the mouth. Okay. The way the blue broke down, it's very, very good as far as for speckling and the tinting too, but you know, the speckling came out really good on that. So I might not have to speckle the blue too much. I'll just leave a couple of spots in there just to give it some variation, get the big ones out. Some of those. Brush. See the little dots? I'll let this dry, and then I'm going to spray them, and I'm going to come back and do the red. Alright. Alright, so next color we're doing is red, which is this one. Alright. Angron, red clear. Okay. So let's get started with that. Alright, and we're gonna, you can't put a little bit in the mouth, but make sure you have no drops in there left. Alright, so make sure you clean that up. That's why I got the Q-tip, so I can get in there. You want to stain up the red a little bit in there, that's fine. Get in there. Get all that in there. Around the eyes, around the beard. And the nose. You're not going to have to speckle this either if it turns out like the blue, which is good. It breaks it up a little bit. Try like a little bit of the nature alcohol trick. I'll show you this. Somewhere around here. So it tinted and it's speckled. And I'm guessing it's because like this is the second time it happened to me. I think it's the paint that I've been using. It's a different paint that I usually use. I was using like Vallejo to do this, but the Citadel is actually working pretty good on this. So it tints and it taints, it tints and it speckles at the same time, which is good. The blue and the red did that, and you can see all the different colors on the head, which I really like. So all I'm going to do now next, I'm going to seal this, and then I'm going to speckle the brown in there, a little bit of tan, the brown, just give it like little spots here and there, and then that's it. We'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I just don't like the red pooling around in certain areas, so I'm gonna just like get rid of some of it because I think it's too much. Took too much out. Alright, so I tinted that red in there too, which just looked pretty good. Alright. Just a good little variation in there. I think this is good, man. Let this dry up, and then we'll seal it, and come back, and then we'll do the brown. All right, so I have the brown, which is Agrex Earth Shade. For doing the speckling. It's a little dark brown, but it's watered down a little bit and it's thin, so it once you put it on, you go in there and just remove some with the Q-tip and the big spots and all that. But since it's watered down, it's probably I didn't want to go with too light brown because then it's not going to show very well, I guess. But let's see how that looks. You want to try a piece of paper before you go crazy. Let's see how that, okay. So let me show you. And you can remove the big ones. Just get rid of the excess of it out of there. There you go. That's good enough. I don't want to do too much more. Right. So remove the ones that you don't want. I don't want those on the nose. Too much on the cheek. Right there. There's that one. You can leave that one there. Right. You don't want to go too crazy. Right. He's older, but he's not. I don't think he's old enough to have like liver spots and stuff, but he's got like he's got some, but there's gonna be some skin variations in there, but you don't want to make him look like he's 90. All right. So just make sure you just go around and just pick the ones that you don't want. Just remove them. You see a dab right there. Okay. That's good. Alright. You guys see that now, right? This lens is very good for, and I don't have a whole lot of light guys in here because it absorbs light like crazy, this lens. And I can really get close up on this, and this is pretty high up. Alright, so I think I fixed it, so let's try it. And there's autofocus now, so there you go, one. That was nice. Alright, so let's bring it a little closer so you can see the different colors. Speckling, alright. You see how the blue and the red just speckled all on its own with those colors, which works really good. You don't have to go in there and go crazy, and it tinted too. So, kill two birds in one stone with those colors. Try them, see how they work for you. You know, I think it's a combination between the sealer and the paint. So you try to use those paint brands and try to see, it'll save you a couple steps. So give it a try. All right, so there's the autofocus. Boom, nice. Nice. I'm just messing around with it. I just learned how to do that. So, all right, but you know, staining, speckling. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is let me go seal it. Well, I got done messing around, and I'll be right back. And we're going to continue with the what do you call it? Putting some shade. Okay, so next up is the shading. Okay, so we're going to start off with the pastels, and I'm going to use what I usually use, which is the red oxide. All right. Don't get this on your clothes, guys, or on the rugs or anything like that, because you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get it off. Trust me when I tell you. Alright, so what I'm going to use for this guy is going to be like a finer brush. Okay, this one right here. So this one right here. So the other one's a little banged up. Alright, and then don't forget, get your filbert brush ready too. Alright, I always keep my, like I said in every episode, I keep my pastel brushes separate. Okay. You don't want to go and mixing your pastel brushes with your regular brushes, because you start painting one of these, you're gonna get pastel and paint all over your kit, and you're gonna get pissed off because you won't be able to get it out. It's not gonna look like right, and you're gonna have to start all over again. All right, so that's with that. Okay, so just be careful. Don't mix it up. Excuse me. I'm gonna put this on the side. And okay, so I sealed him already. So what I'm going to do is put pastel color in. Then we're going to go in with a shade of shade underneath the figure. Okay, with the airbrush. And then we're going to go over the whole figure with the tan flesh, with the lighter color. Maybe even a lighter color than this. Okay, maybe not the olive flesh. I think the olive flesh is going to be a little bit too I don't know, not too bright, but I don't know if I want to go with that tint of olive in it. So I might have to go with I want to go with a lighter color than this. I don't know if that makes any sense. All right, so let's start off with let's just start off with the pastel. Let's move on with that, and then you know we'll try to go lightly in some of it's got some real fine creases, and I think I'm gonna grab another brush and use it as a pastel brush, a smaller one, because I need to really get in there really tight. And I got some. I got a sacrificial lamb here. This was cheap, so I'm gonna go with this one. Alright. Okay guys, let's get started. Don't go too heavy. Under the lip. Might want to get a little bit like in the upper mouth area right here. It gives it that nice reddish tone. You're gonna tone down once you like around the beard line. And don't forget that I told you, just go over the beard. Don't worry about it, because don't forget that the beard it gets thinner, and you got to show some skin in between the lines, right? Remember what I said that? So that's why I oversprayed over the hair. Because some of that, because he has very thin hair along the sides, don't forget that. Alright, so he's going to show some skin, right? So let's go around there. You see where I'm putting that? Alright. In the ear, just mark off the shades. Alright. Don't spit. Always don't spit. Keep your mouth dry. Alright. Then you're going to blend it out with your filbert brush once you go in there and stuff. So, right, under the neck, definitely under the neck, in the hairline, where the beard meets the skin. Alright. The beard is brushing it off. Okay. Alright. It's just gonna red the skin a little bit in those areas, you know. Like that. Okay. So let's go over the next area right here. Now you could do the neckline too if you want. If you want to get in there with some, you know, if you didn't get in there with the paint, you get in there with some pastel and just darken that up with that. That's it. Alright. Same thing with the neckline here under by the shirt. Alright, his undershirt. I believe in the movie the undershirt is black. I think. I'm almost positive. And then he has his orange jacket. It's like an orange maroonish color. That orange tint. Alright. So you want to be accurate somehow with, you know, with what the movie plays. For something like this, yeah, you know what I mean. If it was like a fan kit, you know, that'll be different. But for something like this, you gotta go with the movie, man. You want to try to be as accurate as you can. Get those colors at least semi-decent, right? You know what I mean. Try to get close as you can. So, like, you know, I went and got the colors for the jacket because I wanted to get it, you know, as close as possible. Because it's got that like the military green color to it. Even though I don't think they're military, they're just research facilities. So I guess they're all scientists, but they're working for the government. So. One of my favorite movies, guys. The Thing. John Carpenter's. You know, it's from my era. Alien in this movie has to be like one of my 2 favorite movies of all time. In this genre, you know, well, Alien is like my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. Of all time. It just left a huge impression on me when I first seen it, and I was very young. But it just fucking blew my mind, you know, the whole thing. I'm sure it did a lot of people with that era, you know. It's just so well done. And, you know, then this one came out and I was like, wow, you know, another one. You know, just the imagination, you know, the whole story and everything. Just like, you know, it draws you in, you know, as a kid and fantasizing about stuff like this, you know, aliens and space travel and all that stuff, you know. It kind of like, you know, I am doing the inside of the eyes because he does have bloodshot eyes, and I just want to see what kind of effect I can get with this. So that's why I'm doing it this way. This is something different that I do. I don't usually do it like this, but, you know, wanted to give everything a try here, guys. This is a little something new. Just get the colors in there, you know. I do gonna want to try to get some bloodshot, maybe some veins in there if I can get it that small, you know. Give it a try. I might want to do that with an enamel maybe, or not acrylic because they dry so fast, you know. So we'll see. We'll see as we go. How things go. Alright, so I do want to get some of this color here. Remember, don't forget that I have that purple. We're going to put purple around the eyes too, guys. Alright, just want to get some of this in there. Just to give them a little bit of some shading here. I think I went a little too much on that one right there. That's okay, we can fix that. No problem. He's looking fucking freaky right there. Look at that. Alright, so let me get the little thin brush here because I want to hit the lines on the forehead. And I don't want to go too wide on it. So I got this little brush here. Very thin. So I can focus on that. Okay, so see how thin that is? So let's see how I can do with this. See how it works. Let's get some of this stuff out. Always use my hand to brush off the excess. Alright. Just use your skin. Don't worry. Your wife's not going to think she's cheating on her. Just brush it off. It's not makeup. See how nicely it blends right there? It gets in there. Look over here. Okay, you ready for this? Right. Just brush it towards the hair because the hair you're going to paint anyway. Alright. You see how it nicely blends in there? Get that nice color. Alright. Don't forget you're going to paint over the hair, so you can just go ahead and go over the hair. See? Go towards the hair. Get that blended in right. Nice. Look at that. Like along the beard. Alright. See how it doesn't look so potent? You know, so hot, you know, kind of cool it off a little bit. And then when you spray it, it'll melt it down a little bit more, you know what I mean? I think I'm going to put a little bit in the mouth. And the lines on the forehead. See the lines on the forehead? Now this lens that I bought, guys, is very cheap, but I'm really liking the results. I'm really digging the results on this new lens. You know. So I wasn't happy with the picture, on the quality of the picture that I was getting from the other one. And you know, I went back and watched a couple of videos, and I was like, man, if I can only focus a little bit better, it would be so much better for you guys, so you can see what I'm doing, you know. And you know, as I'm learning to film and paint at the same time too, you know, you guys gotta bear with me. I'm trying my best as I can to try to get as much as I can for you guys, so you guys can enjoy this too, you know. But it's a learning curve. Alright, let me put a little bit more, no, too big. Yeah, just a little bit more on the top side. There we go. And a little bit more. So I watched the movie again. I own the movie, obviously, but I watched it again the other night just to get some reference and stuff. And you know, when I was doing that, I was getting all these stupid, crazy ideas of what to do with the kit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh man, I should try that. You know, then oh, I should try that. And I'm like, okay, relax. You know, I am going to try to do something, but it's going to be towards the end. And if it screw up, I screw up. I'm not going to dwell on it. You know, but hopefully most of the process will stay intact as far as this stuff goes. You know, and then you guys can always reference to it. I have a hard time sticking over here for some reason. Okay. Don't forget to do that curvature in the nose. You know, it might not sound important, but you know, it gives it a little bit of form. I don't want to overdo it, and I think if I do more, that's where it's going to go. You know, and I don't want to overdo it. All right. Put some in the nose. Right. And I did want to do the mouth in there. At least in the back. If it doesn't look good, I can always paint over it, which is not a bad idea. Okay. I just want to see how this looks in the mouth. Once I spray it, it'll show me what's going on. Okay. So I'm not going to spray it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paint on it. Okay. Let me put these away. Oh, one more thing before I get started, before I go. Let's do the purple. I always forget that, you know, and I always have to go back later on, and I don't like doing that, you know, going over. Oh man, you see that? You get that shit all over you, man, forget about it. All over your work area. Just be real careful when you open these. So once you start breaking down like that, it's not this bad. It's just a pain in the ass. So, all right, clean your brush off a little, as much as you can. Same thing with the filbert brush. Get all that red oxide out. Guys, I never washed these. I'll be honest with you, all right? So I just keep on using them like this. All right, so I'm gonna go heavy, a little heavy on the purple underneath the eyes. Okay. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go heavy on the purple, like right underneath the eyes, in the bag of the eyes. You know what I'm saying? And just go right there. A little different color in there. Like that. Sleep deprivation just got freaking taken over by a freaking alien, man. You know what I mean? That kind of look. Alright. I think I kind of think that. Like that. Maybe a little bit in the corner of the eyes right there. Just a little bit. I can do not in the corner of the eye, but by the nose. Right there. Blend it. But just be careful, don't blend it onto anything else, just blend it within. Once I spray it, I might have to go a little bit more with that because I can see that it's gonna get covered up, probably most of it. So I'll go in again with a smaller brush later on and just hit it one more time, maybe. All right. So let me put this. What did I do with it? I always lose them. Got it. Just cover that one. I want to save this one for the small areas, sacrificial brush. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the shadow flesh. Okay, and I'm just going to go very lightly underneath like this, and this angle right here. Okay, very close, very low. I just want to hit the low spots on it. That's it, okay? I should have everything ready to go here. Brush is ready, airbrush. Put a couple drops of flow improver, a little bit thinner, the paint, shake very well, and Pro Acro, guys, very good paint. Don't have a formula. I just like it thin like milk. Okay? Thin like milk. Alright. That's very good right there. See, I run it right by the thing and I see how fast it goes down. And if it goes down like milk, you're good. Try it out. Okay, again, this is the angle that I'm going in right there. You can see that, right? Okay, that's the angle. Right. Very lightly. Doesn't look like stuff is coming up, but it is. I can see the color now. Now I can see the color. I'm just trying to hit those hard to reach angles. And the nose, right there, right there. So when you look at it like this, you can see the color, but when I turn it over, okay, see the difference, right? Here, let me try to get the light there. It's not so much the light either. You know, this absorbs a lot of light. So, but look, you see, you can tell the difference. Okay, you can see the shading underneath the eyes where I got the nose, the difference in color. All right, and those are just the areas that I want to hit. Is underneath. I don't want to. Okay. So from here, I'm getting those under areas underneath the eyes, the ears. Okay, I can tell. Okay, there you go. Should focus. Okay. So now, let me go clean the brush. I think that's enough. Let me hit it from the side. I'm going to hit it a little bit from the side. Right here. Hit from this side. Look on the face. Just give it a little bit of shading underneath the cheeks. That's what I'm looking for. Alright. There we go. That's enough. Okay. Okay. I'll be right back. Let me clean my brush out. We're going to start with you. There you go. Alright. So now we're going to go over with very lightly with the tan flesh. Okay? Just all over. Okay? I'm going to cover up a little bit of that, soften it up, and then I'm going to go with a lighter color on top of that. And like I said, I'm not sure which color as far as the light tones I'm going to go with yet, but it's going to be a little bit lighter. And maybe even lighter on that, you know, so we'll see. In the movie, there is light coming in on top of him from behind. So I'm going to leave all that stuff for the end because, you know, there's stuff that I want to try. So let's just get this done, and then we'll move on. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. All right. So mixing the paint, the cup. Good. Just make sure you mix it well before you start spraying. Test your airbrush. Okay. Very lightly from far away. I'm going to go and start spraying. I want to say I'm about 1.5 feet away. All right. I might get closer at times, but for the most part, it's going to be about 1.5 feet away, okay, guys? So, and if you don't cover as much as you think you want to cover, don't worry about it, because remember I said I'm going to go with the lighter color from the top. So don't get nervous if you're not covering too much of that stuff on top, because you'll get to it eventually. So very lightly, I'm just spraying. I'm going to get down in the neck area. Okay, you see how it starts to blend in a little bit, right? And like I said before in the beginning, I'm trying to get like a translucent feel to it, you know, because he's a very pale fella, so, you know, don't forget. So, You don't want to cover all the effects that you did, but you want to try to see how it just meld that down a little bit. Okay. Like the pastels don't look as strong anymore. And you're getting that cooler effect to the. Alright. So I'm going to hit them from here. You see, I'm not putting my trigger all the way. I'm just hitting it, you know, like that. You know, do I want to do a whole video on how to use an airbrush? Not really. It took me a while to learn how to do this. I get a piece of paper and I usually I practice, and you can get really thin. And you can really get in there and do really fine lines with this. You know, you can really get in there and do some really fine line work on this stuff, guys, like right there. Alright, if the closer you get, you know, the further you get. Practice on a piece of paper. There's plenty of tutorials online how to do that. I don't really want to get into that because it's all trigger memory and muscle memory and all that stuff like that. So I mean, and just to learn how to thin your paint out and stuff like that, it takes practice. And what I recommend is practice. Just, grab something to paint anything. It doesn't have to be a kit. It could be anything. Well, I'm liking that right there, guys. I'm really feeling it right there. You see that? Just, I like that a lot. What I want to do is hit his face a little bit from here. And I'm just not trying to be, not impatient or anything. It's just I don't think I'm the right person to teach you, to be honest with you. How to airbrush, There's a lot of easy tutorials out there. What I'll try to do next time is I'll try to put some maybe links to some people that are good at teaching how to use the airbrush, and so you guys can go on there and learn it, But I don't think I'm the right person to teach you that, especially on the channel. So, all right. I'm liking that right there. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like before I clean my brush. See how it hid a lot of the, but you still have some of that. Okay. You could tell a little bit of the colors in the side. It's not as strong. Okay. So we're going to seal him here, and then I'm going to get a lighter color, and we're going to go over on top of the lighter color. Now see, I've been doing this for a while. I did the pastel, the under color with the shadow flesh and the tan flesh without sealing it, and I felt comfortable doing that. If you're a beginner, seal in between for all of those, and don't forget the pastels. You need to use a different sealer. There's that bare sealer, okay. But I don't need to do that because the paint is actually acting as a sealer here, kind of. All right, so it's not going to melt it away for me that bad, but it'll cool it down. All right, but this is for the pastels. All right, and they're on all my videos, and stuff like that. So, but there you go, right there. All right, so they're starting to look really good here. There you go. Less light, not so strong. See. It's looking good, right? Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna seal this. I'm really happy where this is going, guys. I'm really happy. just sealed him. And when you seal him, it just melds everything together, you know? It looks really good. I'm really happy the way it's coming out. Like I said, now I want to go with a lighter color. Let me see. Let me pick out a color here real quick. My skin tones. We've got a couple colors here. Let's see which one we're going to go with. Let me pull that out just because I'll need that maybe later. These colors that I'm pulling out, I used them the last time for the Huntress, and these colors are from Scale Color, and they work very well for female flesh. You know, like doing those light skins. Let me see what I have here. What am I looking for here? Okay. So this is the tone that I just went with. Okay, and I'm looking for something a little bit lighter than that. Pale skin right there. I think that's it. It's too close to it. It's too dark. Keep these out just in case. This is no, it's too creamy white. I mean, I'm looking at this. This has a little more of a cream color to it. And I don't want to go with that. This one, it's a little bit lighter than that, you see. That's in a bottle. Let's see how it looks outside. Just for shits and giggles. Let's see. Let's compare here. Let's move him out of the way. Oops, he almost fell on me. Alright. This is the Pro Acro color. Okay, let's put it here. Okay. It's got a pinkish tone to it. Okay. I want to do some highlights on the skin, so. And this is from Scale Color. Yeah. Okay, definitely that color is a little lighter. And I think this one here will be too. I don't think I have a cover for this one because this is the one that exploded. Yeah, this is. I'm not gonna use this. This bottle exploded on me one day, and yeah. Nope. Gotta get a new one though. So yeah, so we're gonna go with that. This has, and it still has that fleshy tone to it. It has a little fleshy, pinkish flat, so I think it'll be nice for doing the, trying to get that, like a translucent skin, you know. Do I have any other options that I can use? No. Yeah, I do, but not like what I'm thinking. Alright, so let's use this. Let's try it. I mean, what the heck, you know? We're going to go from the top on this, okay? So, I'll be right back. I got to clean my brush. Alright. So, I'm going to thin this down just a little bit more than what we usually thin down the other stuff with, okay? Because, it just needs it a little bit more because it's a little bit thicker. But it works very well on the airbrush. So I put about 4 drops in there just to get started with that. Like I said, I don't have a perfect measurement, guys. Consistency of milk is the best that I can explain it. Sometimes you can go a little bit thinner than that, you know, if you want to do like a glaze or whatever. But you know, that's not too bad. A little bit more thinner. No, that's good. Okay, so, you know, like I said, I don't have a perfect formula for it, so, you know. Alright. Oh, so let me, I don't know if I show you or not, but the color that I'm using is pale skin. Pale Skin by Scale Color SC17. Okay. Be a little bit too tight. I'm doing it on my skin. That might be okay. Alright. So again, from the top. From the very top. Alright, far away. Again. Right now I'm just doing the head. Is it drop? Getting closer to the face. Just want to do highlights, guys. Hit that bridge on the nose. Side of the face. Like the neck right there. Let's see what this looks like. Needs a little bit more here. A little bit more over that side too. It's coming out okay though. A little bit there. Once I seal it, it's going to look better. All right, it's almost there. I mean, it's there. All right, that's it right there. Just this neck right here. I need to get a little bit right there. The side of the neck I probably missed. No, it's not too bad. A little bit. It looks really good, man. I really like it. Too strong. There we go. I like that better. What do you guys think? I really like that. I don't think I need to do purple either. I think I'm pretty good there. I don't want to go too strong, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep it, you know, it's got a little red, it's got a little purple in it, you know, on the bags under his eyes. And I think it's just capturing that stressed, you know, look to it. I'm really digging it. See how it looks? Okay, so sealed. And it just blended everything all together very nicely, I must say. Okay, so next step that I want to do is I think I want to work on the hands a little bit. It's getting late for me, so I think I'm going to hit that route so this way we can finish off with all the flesh tones. I'm not going to do the bloody look to the hands yet. So I'm just going to give the hands like some highlights, some shadows, and all that stuff. And then after that, I'll go with the blood and all that and do that towards the end. The next time I come back, we're going to do the hair, the eyes, okay, and just finish up the mouth and stuff like that. You know, the lips and the tongue and whatever inside and stuff. But everything's coming out really nice. It's got some nice color going in there already. So I wanted to try doing with the pastels inside the mouth, and doing with the red first. Remember we tinted, and then going in there with the pastel just to give it some color. And I'm really happy the way it came out. You know, it's got a little fleshy tone in there and all that stuff that it needs. So the tongue and the lips, I think, are the only thing that need to be hit in there. All right, so and then. I'm really happy where it's going. So, and then we'll hit the close after that. And then the base, obviously. You know, I have some ideas for the base. We'll go. I don't want to get too ahead, so, but that's where we're at right now. Right here, guys. Right here. It came out really nice. Okay. I'm really happy the way it came out. Let me see if I can mess around with the light a little bit. See how it comes out. Ooh. Yeah. The light's not bouncing so much on it. Look at that. This thing just shows light like crazy. This new lens that I got is really cool. Alright. I can't work like this. I need light. This is too dark, but it's just the way this thing is popping. Alright. Nice skin tone variation, okay. Just showing, you know, you got a little bit of translucency in there. Alright. I think I'm gonna go with a little bit more of a satin finish on this. Just to give it like a little bit of a cold sweat you know, look. See how that looks maybe later on. I don't know. We'll see. Very happy the way it's coming out, guys. Hi and welcome back, everybody. Um, so I had to cut the last piece of video that I did when I did the eyes, and the reason why is because I had my big head just covering everything, and you guys wouldn't have been able to see anything. So I had to cut that off. I used transfers for it, and I painted in. I went and did a little research on his eyes. Um, in the movie, I couldn't really tell if they were like light blue or gray. I think it's like in between. But in the scene, his eyes are pretty dark. So what I'm going to do is not right now. Later on, I'm going to darken up the eyes a little bit too, because they look a little bit bright. But I want to paint the hair first. I want to do all the other things that I want to do before I go in and do that, because I want to see how it looks with everything on the face once I get to that part. It's, I gotta tell you, this morning is freezing out here, and where I'm at, and I went from like super hot to being super cold. It's like 37 degrees right now. So yeah, went that drastic. There's no in between, for fall. So what I'm going to do right now is, like I said before, I think I want to highlight some areas a little bit, like the top of the head, maybe the cheekbones and things like that, the bridge of the nose, just highlight it just a little bit. I don't want to go too much. I don't want to, I'm going to use the pastels for this. I don't think I ever did this on the channel, but I want to go to, I want to show you guys how I do it. Try to see how it comes out. There's some other areas that I still want to touch up, but I think the color for like the nose and the top of the ears came out pretty good. Let me give you a little right there. You can see the difference right there. I know my work light is a little bright, but this lens absorbs even in under no light. This camera does very well, but just too much light sometimes it just doesn't show very well. Here, let me show you right there. All right. So because like he's a little bit cold, give him that when he's outside. Give a little color on the top of the ears and the nose. I might do a little bit more on the top of the cheekbones and the area and stuff like that later on. All right, but for right now, I just want to just barely touch and highlight certain high parts on the face. Okay, just to give it a little bit of highlight. So this set right here, let me move this over for a second. This is the flesh tone set for pan pastels. Okay, I know you can't see it right there. Okay, pan pastels. All right, now this is all the flesh tones. I think I added a couple of different colors to this too, just to let me get some of these out. There's like a very very light grays. I also have like gray tones and skin tones in here. So the skin tones, I might have more here. Hold on a second. I think this is my gray tone set. Let me just make sure. I have quite a few of these, but this is more of fleshy tones here. This is like a little pink. Yeah, it doesn't show very well on the camera, but right there, that's the color. All right, this is a little yellow. This one's a lot pinker. Okay, if you want to, if you need, but right now I want to give highlights, so I don't use these for highlights. I use these mostly for repairing any over highlighted areas that I do. Now you can get a little carried away with these, so you got to be real careful how you go. I just want to make sure that I got the right colors here that I want to use before I get going. See, these are gray. It's like a bluish gray. That's more of a gray. Now there is a color here that I use for 5 o'clock shadows, which is very good. And I'll try to see if I can give you guys the name of it. It's this one right here. Okay, and this one works extremely well for 5 o'clock shadows. I'm going to use these two right here. I'm going to give you the name of it. Let me cover it because I got to look at it upside down. I don't want this stuff to get all over the place. That's Payne's Gray Extra Dark, and I use that for 5 o'clock shadows. You know, you go in there very lightly, go in there, and you can brush a little bit of the stuff very lightly. You do a little bit of layers at a time, and then till you get that how much you want to put in, and it works phenomenal. I'm telling you. So if you guys are interested, I'm not gonna do. Obviously, here he has a beard, and he's a bit of a more of a redhead. These go darker. They go to dark gray to really dark to black. All right, so I'm going to use these two colors to highlight. Okay, put this on the side. Now this one here is it's a colorless blender. Okay, it does give a very light highlight, and I like to use that for. And this is titanium white. Okay, that might be a little bit too strong, but you know, you can do it in small areas just a little bit and it should be fine. And don't forget that after I'm done with this, I'm going to spray this clear coat, which is from Bear. Okay, and it's matte. It says matte, but it actually comes out glossy, and you're going to have to go over with a matte finish after you're done with it. After you're pretty much done with everything, because you know we're gonna keep on going, you know, with stuff. And but when you do pastels, I recommend this one a lot, because it doesn't melt away your pastels like other brands do. Okay, so highly recommended. So I have my brushes that I keep separate. Okay, for pastels, and I'm going to take out my filbert brush for blending, and I'm going to take out a medium brush here. This one, actually a small one. This one right here. Okay, very small tip. It's a crappy brush. All right, so let me start with the colorless tint first, and let's see how that works. And if not, I have put a little bit of titanium white to it if I need it. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. I don't want to get stuff everywhere, guys. So, okay, so I'm going to keep that there. If you think you got too much, just, you know, use your finger, or, you know, you can use the towel. But I want to hit the top of the head here, where his head, like, goes up like in a cone, kind of, okay? A little bit on the tip of the nose. I'm going to put a little bit down here in the cheek area right here. Top of the cheek, maybe. And then later on, I think I'm going to add a little bit of that, just to give him a little bit of a rosy cheek area. But you want to highlight maybe this part up here a little bit and blend that in. Maybe here, just to give it a little bit of highlight, just a little bit. I don't want to get too carried away with it, because you know, it's going to make it look funny then. It's not a meanie where you know those highlights and those, you know, contrast and all that has to be, you know, this is more, you know, going more for a realistic look and stuff. And you know, I'm learning as, you know, we go along. Maybe highlight some of the folds on his between his eyebrows too, maybe. But let's start up on top. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of color here. Okay, and just barely just work it in. You know, wipe the excess on the side. All right, you might not see a big difference in it, but just enough, a little bit, just to give it variation in those high points. That's all I'm trying to do. Just give it a little bit of color, you know, variation, little highlights, you know. All right, so look below the excess a little bit. It just blended in nicely. Okay, I'm going to need to change the light up here. I need more light. There we go. It might look a little weird, but I'll try to show you the difference that I do as I go. Okay. And the reason why this is really, you know, light, So I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. So, okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm putting it right on the middle where, you know, this is the larger area. Okay, so then this is the tint that I'm using now, guys. Let's just give it a little bit. Alright, then I brush it to the sides. Split it in. Now you might, when you overspray it, you might need to do another layer. Alright? Because again, this is I'm going very lightly on it. So once you spray, you might not show everything because it does. When you overspray where your top coat is, it actually, like, you know, blends everything together for you a little bit. You know, so you might not be happy with the results as far as how much highlight you get out of it. So you might have to do it again. It might take a couple of steps. All right. And when you do use a spray, don't, you know, put a heavy coat on it. Just go very lightly over it. You know, do it from far away. Don't go right on top of it. It would soak it. You know. I don't do that on camera because I got to go outside and do it. The bear is actually pretty strong with the smell, and you know, or do it in a very well ventilated area. My old lady hates the smell, so I do it outside. I do have a spray booth, but she still smells it when I do it in there. That's how strong it is. The Bear brand is. All right. I think I'm going to put a little bit of titanium white on the top here. Try it. Let's see what it looks like. Like I said, you don't want to get too carried away. That's why I'm going very slow. Because you can always remove it with a little bit of alcohol, and you know, it'll come right out. If you don't like it, you know. All right, so let's blend that in. See, the titanium white is too strong, I think. Well, it might work. I think that works a little bit better on that side. Let's see here. You guys can see that, right? Yeah, you can see that. Let's see how I'm blending it in on both sides. Okay. And it just gives it that little bit of difference in color. All right. Let's do one more pass. Let's see how it comes out. Now the light is pretty strong behind them. All right. Let's do just a little bit more. I just want to even out this front part right here a little bit. All right. There we go. All right. Wipe. I'm not brushing very hard. I'm like tapping down so the pigments stay there. Okay. I'm trying not to wipe hard. I'm trying to let the pigment stay where I want it. And it just gave me just a little bit of highlight there. See that? That's what I'm looking for. Just a little bit of highlight, a little bit of difference. That's all. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for to go crazy on it. You know what I mean? Okay. That's all I'm looking for right there. That's it. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to hit that middle part of his, between his eyebrows a little bit. Alright, let me try this here. The titanium white a little bit. Just a little bit right there. Alright, oh, let me get a camera, sorry. Right there. Alright, I still got to paint the eyebrows in and all that, so just the top part right here. Alright. Just tap it in. Alright. See, a little bit of variation just makes a big difference, I think. Alright. Just a little bit more. Right there. Just tap away. There we go. Top middle bridge of the nose. Just right here. That's it. Just a little bit. You can damp a little pointy cotton swab if you want, and remove, and just damp it very lightly with a little bit of alcohol, and just remove any like specific area that you want to remove on the pastel. Just make sure you let it dry before you continue. All right, that's it right there. All right, that's all I needed on the nose. I'm not gonna go crazy. There you go. See a little difference up there? If you go a little bit bright, it's not a bad thing to either, because like I said, once you spray, it's, a lot of it's going to fade out. So, especially it does that, especially with the lighter colors. So, all right. So I want to go on the top part of that cheekbone up here. All right, not just a little bit. When I mean a little bit, that's about as far as I want to go. All right, I don't want to go down anymore. All right, now you can dab that away from the crease because you want to save that shadow. Sorry about that. Away from the crease because you want to save that shadow. All right, right there. All right, wipe some away, blend it in. There you go. Good. That's it. I'm going to leave this part right there, the cheek that I said I was going to do. I like the way that highlighted there. I think it's bringing everything all together. Also has some nice color there. Like it makes him look like he's cold, like it's starting to come out a little bit more. Like when you get cold, you get red, you get, and then, but you also have, you get pale. It's not a whole lot of sun where you guys are at, so. All right, so I'm going to go here. Just a little bit right there. Like I said, if you think you do one layer. If you think you need a little more, you can always go back in and do another one. All right, but try not to overdo it, So, I think that's good. Right. Really like that right there. Blend it in nice. Maybe a little. just a little hint. Like I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it with a whole different light too. Like I can bring it over here and it'll give me a different light. Bring it here, or I could bring it out to the front. That's why I bring it out to the front a lot. There's a little bit different light in the front. I got a lot of light focusing right here, right now. So when you change the light, sometimes it gives you a different effect, you know, like so. Let me put a little bit more. Just in that top part. Right there. Alright. Good. See how I dab it? I'm just like pushing it down. I'm not brushing it hard. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. Alright. That's it. I'm happy there with the way it looks. That's the little bit that I needed right there to, you know, to give it a little bit of a variation in the color. Alright, so let me put this away. I might need it again. I might have to do it, you know, once I spray it. Let me see how it looks. If I'm happy with it, we'll keep it there. If not, we'll do another layer. You know, no big deal. Alright, let me close this up. You can always do another layer if you have to. And let me go spray this real quick and I'll be right back.